Ghost of the Badlands belongs to a substrata of the Western genre, one which boasts several names. One is Gothic Western, an eponym which is often attached to Clint Eastwood's Angel of Death trilogy, which began with Hang 'em High in 1968.
You don't remember me, do you?
No.
When you hang a man, you better look at him. Don't go for that gun, Reno. I need you alive.
Continued with High Plains Drifter in 1973.
Who are you?
And concluded with Pale Rider in 1985.
You know, it occurred to me it must be difficult for a man of faith to carry the message on an empty stomach, so to speak. So I thought, why not invite this devout and humble man to preach in town? Why not let the town be his parish? In fact, why not build him a brand new church?
Well, I could see where a preacher would be mighty tempted by an offer like that.
Oh, indeed.
First thing you know, he'd be thinking about getting himself a batch of new clothes.
Why, we'd have them tailor-made.
Then he'd start thinking about those Sunday collections.
Well, in a town as rich as La Hood, that preacher, oh, he'd be a wealthy man.
That's why it wouldn't work. You can't serve God and mammon both. Mammon being money.
Another term for these elemental and otherworldly stories, however, is divine retribution, Western. The concept of divine retribution, like much of the basis of the Ghost of the Badlands, has its root in the Old Testament of the Holy Bible. The god of the Ghost is not the Joel Osteen multi-million megachurch god, but the Lord of Hellfire and Brimstone. The god that raised Gomorrah in Genesis 18, verses 20 to 21, and visited the 10 plagues upon ancient Egypt in Exodus 7 through 12. His punishment is ruthless as the affronts of his enemies. That the Ghost utters King James Bible verses while meting out this reckoning is not a mere stylistic flourish. This is the hand of God embodied. To utter his own words under such circumstances would, in his eyes, be a perversion of the Almighty's will. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, Romans 12:19. The Ghost then does not see this as an act of worldly retaliation or crass human vengeance, but the enactment of a heavenly decree dispensed from the firmament in hails of withering gunfire. Yet like the God he appears to represent, neither is the Ghost without mercy. He not only saves the defenseless foundling that had been spared earlier by Righty Redstone, but he extends clemency to the latter. His act of conscience evidence to the Ghost of his desire for forgiveness, opening the possibility of penance, not unlike Saul's vision on the road to Damascus. In a New Testament context, the Ghost holds with the gospel of Paul the Apostle, who in Romans 1:18 explained, "For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who hold the truth in unrighteousness, because that which may be known of God is manifest in them. For God hath showed it unto them. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse." To Paul, the evidence of God's presence and power was immutable through observation of his creation, making the abandonment or worse, perversion of belief in God an engineered affront, and thus divine retribution is warranted by virtue of that willful choice. Professing themselves wise, they became fools, and changed the glory of the incorruptible God into an image made like to corruptible man. Romans 1:22 through 23. What brought the Ghost to this revelation, and what precisely brings Righty Redstone to his? I'm afraid you'll have to read The Ghost of the Badlands to find out. Until then, beware the Ghost.